Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now. There are mortgage fraud issues with Leticia James and also with Adam Schiff. New York Post. You have ABC News, NBC News. Senator Adam Schiff under criminal investigation for alleged mortgage fraud. Hit subscribe. We have a lot of things going on this week. You'll have a lot more uploads, and then we'll get back to the live streams. I'm going to try to do some more uploads this week and continue with the live streams, but hit subscribe to this channel. Go to H.A. Goodman's other channel as well. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Schiff, what's going on? Well, like Leticia James, he's accused of mortgage fraud. Possible prison time.
An update on an Ingram Angle exclusive, a Trump administration source telling the Angle that a criminal investigation of Adam Schiff is underway, conducted by U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland for possible charges involving mortgage fraud. Now, this follows the story we broke last month when the Federal Housing Finance Agency sent a criminal referral to the DOJ alleging that Schiff, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms. In a 2011 affidavit signed by the then California congressman, he certified that a property in Montgomery County, Maryland, is his primary residence. He also owns a condo in Burbank, California, which he's also claimed is his primary residence, and said so in 2023 during his campaign for Senate.
I think just about every member of Congress has a residence in their state and a residence back in D.C. since we're in session much of the week. And people make a family decision where they're going to have their kids. But our principal residence, our primary residence is in California. It always has been and always will be.
Ruh-roh. Well, Senator Schiff.
Always has been, always will be. But the documents might say differently.
Has not responded to us about these allegations, but we were able to find a statement that his campaign spokesperson gave to CNN back in 2023. She said that the Burbank condo is his primary residence, but Adam's California and Maryland addresses have been listed as primary residences for loan purposes because they're both occupied throughout the year and to distinguish them from a vacation property. Well, the law does not work that way.
You don't distinguish a vacation or rental property in that manner.
Let me just say that, but nice try. Look, it's anyone's guess what happens next, but we're going to stay on this story. But, of course, as Schiff like to say during Russiagate, just talking about that, no one is above the law.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey,
Let's find out a little bit more.
President is above the law.
Well, we have a Fox News alert. The Angle has exclusively obtained the criminal referral for Democrat Senator Adam Schiff. It shows the underlying conduct described could result in claims of mortgage fraud. The referral submitted to the DOJ by Housing Director Bill Pulte alleges that Schiff has, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms, impacting payments from 2003.
That's the issue, ladies and gentlemen. It's the favorable loan terms. If you are lying, let's say Schiff and Leticia James are lying. Let's say allegedly they falsified documents. They're not a billionaire like Trump. Okay, they're not worth $3 billion or a former president, current president, and part of American history. They are part of American history, Schiff and Leticia James, not in the manner that Trump is. People will be speaking about Trump and talking about learning about President Trump 100, 200, 300, 400 years from now. Okay? They might not exactly know who Adam Schiff or Leticia James are. Okay? The point, I mean, you know the president, you might not know, you almost certainly won't know the attorney general of a state or a congressman and senator of a state 200 years from now. You will learn about Trump. Like you'll learn about Biden and everybody else. But Schiff, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents. This is pretty clear-cut, allegedly.
to 2019 for a Potomac, Maryland-based property. Schiff owns a home in California and another in Maryland. Well, perhaps, when the Democrats decided to have Mr. High and Mighty Adam Schiff head an impeachment witch hunt against Trump, they should have done their due diligence, not just on their absurd allegations, but on their own chairman. With us to analyze is Jonathan Fahey, former federal prosecutor. Jonathan, look, the mortgage fraud issue might seem technical or it's just a small, minor thing, but what can you tell us?
Well, when Trump does it, they make it seem like the biggest deal ever when they alleged he did it in the New York case. So that's a fun irony here. But basically, it's lying on a mortgage application to get more favorable loan terms. And when you say it's your primary residence, you get a more favorable loan term than if it's a rental residence or something else. And what's really interesting about this, Adam, this was not just coming from President Trump. 2023, the CNN reported on this issue. So he's on one hand saying he's a resident of California to run for office, to run from House and then for the Senate, and also taking a deduction in California based on the claiming residency in California.
That's also the issue here. The issue is that these are politicians. So Attorney General LETICIA James and Senator Adam Schiff are politicians. They had to run from their home state. And yet they possibly wanted better loan and mortgage rates and insurance rates. That's potentially criminal.
And for the IRS, you can't claim residency in both California and Maryland. So he's got a lot of issues because it seems like however this breaks down, it looks like he's saying one thing here, one thing there. He can't be a resident of both places. So was he lying in California or lying in Maryland to get more favorable loan terms? But the irony is so rich here with all of the Adam Schiff, if it's Russiagate, the first impeachment, and now this. It's pretty funny.
He's denying the allegations, tweeting that this is just Donald Trump's latest attempt at political retaliation against his perceived enemies.
But it was not political retaliation when they set up and framed Trump as a Kremlin operative. You'd have to be a complete imbecile to have believed that Trump worked with the Russians in any way, shape, or form. But they pushed that myth. Then they're saying exactly what Trump was saying when they were saying, oh, well, you know what? Their response was, that's complete nonsense. It's the rule of law. And now they're saying the same thing. The difference is that they actually are the baddies. They actually are the side that history will look upon and say, yeah, you basically created a new Cold War and a new McCarthy era Red Scare zeitgeist for no reason at all other than to frame innocent people.
So it's not a surprise only how weak this false allegation turns out to be. Again, kind of ironic, is it not, that he's claiming political retribution after what he did all these years? These are forms, right?
These are forms, and it's ironic because also, again, CNN in 2023, when President Trump was not the president, was reporting on this issue. So President Trump just didn't pull this out. So this idea that, oh, this is President Trump engineering this, that's not true. And also when he goes on talking about the Epstein files and other things, it makes you really curious because if there's an innocent explanation, why not lead with that, right?
Well, nobody is above the law.
Yeah.
How many times did he say that?
Yeah, nobody's above the law. And if President Trump was fishing without a license, he would have been brought into a grand jury, and every Democrat would have been talking about the sanctity of licensing and things like that.
So you had Tish James in New York with this similar
Same
issue.
exact thing.
And now Adam Schiff. And again, these are allegations. They would have to be proven. There would have to be a federal indictment that issues. But how serious is this criminal referral by the federal housing director, Bill Pulte?
I think it will be taken seriously. Does it mean it will ultimately lead to charges? Who knows? And one of the things they may want to look at, there could be a statute of limitations issue. The statute of limitations typically for federal offenses is 5 years. For bank fraud, it's 10 years. And one of the New York Post articles I read said there was a recent refinancing in 2020, which would bring it within the umbrella of the statute of limitations.
So if he hadn't taken out a mortgage, would any of this be an issue?
If he hadn't taken out a mortgage and said something that, again, we don't know their allegations, but something on there that's false, it wouldn't be an issue. But again, it's a pretty important issue because if he's getting favorable loan terms because of it, if that's a lie, that's a problem. Or if he's lying to the residents of California saying, I'm a resident of California.
Oh, that's another issue. Yeah.
Elect me senator. That's a problem too.
Got it. Well, we will see how this all turns out. John.
So this is actually a very big deal, and it's not that difficult to prove.
DC safe again. It is that simple. You don't.
He can't afford his own attorney. And by the way, he's gotten a very high-powered attorney. Reportedly, his attorney for this mortgage fraud is Preet Bharara, former head of DOJ here.
Yes, very powerful and very respected attorney who couldn't find anything with the Clinton Foundation. I believe that he was tasked with investigating the Clinton Foundation about 10 years ago and found nothing. Okay.
Here in New York, the head of the New York Southern District, which is like the premier district in the country. That's not a cheap date, okay? So he's gone high, and then he expects other people to fund it. And all I can do is to say that, you know, it tracks, because this is Tish James's strategy as well, except she got it through the legislature. And consequently, the taxpayers of New York are on the hook. For her defense, they started a $10 million fund to defend themselves from Donald Trump right around when they started to look at her for the mortgage fraud. So this is a pattern.
Well, Paul, it's important to remember that no one is above the law.
Apparently.
We were told this.
So, listen, who knows? They got Capone on taxes. Who knew that mortgage fraud was going to be the thing that was going to come out of the woodwork? And it's Tish James that opened this up, because that's what she went after Donald Trump for. The difference is that in Donald Trump's case, there's absolutely no complaint.
CG, thank you so very much. Yes. It ain't no future in their frontin'. The one of the great rappers of the 90s, Paperboy. Thank you so very, very much. CG, everybody, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. We're going to keep this really short. Check out the uploads tomorrow, the next day this week, and the live streams. Go to H.A. Goodman's other channel. To the viewers who have been here, CG and everybody, thank you. God bless you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for being here for so long. CG, thank you. And have a wonderful, wonderful week. Watch the uploads, because I'm going to try to do more uploads on this channel this week. And then we're going to do uploads and, of course, continue. I will always continue with the live streams. Hit subscribe, everybody. God bless you.